Welcome in, you guys. We're going to be doing some GED math. Hey, Robin, welcome back. And we're going to be multiplying. So if you know anybody that's been struggling to pass the math GED test, please share this live with them. Thank you for the double taps. And let's get it on a Saturday. So number one is 6x times 5x. I know, love, travel. So 6 times 5 is 30. And then remember, x times x is x to the squared. Now let me break down why this is x to the squared, okay? So we're going to put a 1 up here and a 1 up here. And so what we do is we're going to do x 1 plus 1, because the rules for exponentials say when you are multiplying variables, you add their exponents. That's why this becomes an x squared, okay? So let's go to number 3. All right, what do you guys get for number 3 here? What do you guys get? Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Happy Saturday. Happy weekend. David, you said you need to relearn some math. I hear that. The Stone High. What up? What up? Thank you for all the follows and the shares. All right, so number 3. So how you break this down is the coefficients, which really I consider the big number. Okay, Trev said 28 AVC. Okay, happy weekend, Los Focus. So we're going to do 7 times 4. And then we have an A. We have 2 B's here. So it'd be 1 plus 1. And we have 2 C's here, which would be 1 plus 1. So now 7 times 4 is 28, like you guys said. We have a lonely A, and then we have B to the 1 plus 1 is second, C to the second, okay? Perfect. Hey, I teach math, mister. Welcome, welcome. Hello to all my fellow tutors, math teachers, homeschool parents. I'm taking my final GED test next week. Your videos have been helping so much. Oh, good. Best of luck. Remember, never start at number 1. Start where your mind says, I know this. I can beast mode through this, and then take the rest of the test. And don't be afraid to guess. If you don't have a clue, don't waste your time on that problem. Guess it and move on to what you know. Okay? All right. Let's go. Let's go. So here... what do we do with this? What do we do? So somebody said, Adriana said, I'm going to school for welding. I wonder what kind of math will be involved. Me too, Adriana. If we have any other welders in here, can you guys explain that? So Ava said distribute. Perfect. And remember what distribute means. That means multiply. Okay, so we're going to distribute here. Now we look inside our parentheses. We do not have any like terms because we have an XY here and we have a Z. So we can't combine these. So now we're going to do 3 times 6. I'm going to break this down step by step. So remember the big numbers, which are called coefficients, you multiply those. Okay, so we put those together. Now we have, and you go alphabetical order. So X, Y, and then Z is last, Z to the squared. So whenever somebody says, what is X times Y times Z? You just put them together because it literally makes no sense in our head. Good. Somebody put this in the Jules said 18 XYZ squared plus 4Z to the third. All right. I see you, Jewel. I love it. So now we're going to do here though. Okay. You got to be careful here. So what do we do with the coefficients? We multiply them. So 3 times 4. And then we have Z. How many Z's we got outside? We got 2 here. How many do we have here? Well, we got 1. So we put plus 1. Okay. Now 3 times 6 is 18. X, Y, Z to the squared plus 3 times 4 gives us 12. Z to the 2 plus 1 is 3. So if you got this, you're 100% correct. Good. Good. All right, let's keep on practicing. Okay. Let's keep on practicing. So let's go to number 2. We have 2xy times 3y. What do you guys get for number 2? Oh, somebody said, Ace said, wait. What we waiting on, Ace? What you got? Got a question? Why is, this is a great question. So why is xy in front of z? Wonderful question, Claire, or if I said your name wrong, sorry. Yes, that's a wonderful question. When we do variables, they go in alphabetical order. So when you sing the alphabet, x, y comes before. Ooh, okay. Annie says 6yx squared. Oh, you guys are wonderful. David says 6yx squared. I see y'all. So for number 2, 2 times 3, we get 6. We have an x. And how many y's do we got? We have 2 of them. So we put the little squared. And like you guys said, that was our answer. Good. Okay. Overall, said 2 times 1 plus. Good. So that's why we put xyz squared. That's why we put the xy before the z. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, so number 4. Claudia said 12yz. Okay. 12yz. So 12y times z. It literally makes no sense to us, right? Like, what? 12y times z? Whenever somebody asks you a number times a letter, squish it together and remember to put it in alphabetical order. So 12, we got a y, which comes before z. And that is our answer. That's it. Just push it together. Write it together. Okay. So now let's do number 6. Let's go to number 6. So we're going to go here and then here. And remember, this is called distribute, which means multiply. Okay. So we got, Balloon said 42x squared minus 36xz. I love it. I love it. Good. So we're going to do 6 times 7. That's first. Now I'm going to write an x. How many x's do I have? I have 1 plus 1. Okay. Minus, now I have 2 big coefficients, 6 times 6. And I have an x and a z. I just write them next to each other, xz. 6 times 7, you guys said it, is 42x squared minus 6 times 6 is 36xz. And this is where we stop because these are not like terms. So wonderful, wonderful. All right. So let me just tell you what this was called. We multiplied monomial. Monomial means just one letter or number together. So these are monomials. Monomials. Now this right here is a binomial, okay? Because there's 2 terms. And so what we did is we distribute a monomial to a binomial. Thank you, CTR. Thank you for the TikTok gift. Now we're going to get into multiplying binomial times binomial, okay? Binomial times binomial. And there's multiple ways. So don't let nobody tell you that you're doing it wrong if you started a different way, okay? Just follow through with your way and see if you get the same answer. So how y'all want to do this? Let's take a vote. I'm going to put a poll out there, quick poll. I'm going to say happy face, we're doing FOIL. Sad face, we're going to do box. Okay, so happy face is for FOIL. Sad face is for box method. Okay. FOIL. Sad face. Ooh, okay. Happy faces are taking off. 60 to 22. Box. Hit that poll if you want boxes. Okay, sad face. All right. Ooh. So this one we'll do. For this one, we're for sure going to do FOIL because the FOIL people have just taken over. They won this poll. The next one, we'll do box method, okay? So for this one, thank you for everybody participating. So FOIL, first, outer, inner, last, okay? So we take the first in each parenthesis. Okay, so I love to color code, you guys. Okay, I just love it. So this is the first because they're the first things in each parenthesis. So 3c times c gives us 3c. Well, how many c's do I have? 2. 3c squared. Then our outers is the thing to the most of the left. Okay, so this is most to the left. And then most to the right, which is here. Okay, so this is going to be our outer. So 3c times 3, 3 times 3 gives us 9. Don't forget this c with it, c. Now we're going to go inner, okay? So our inner is the innermost in each parenthesis. It's like they're almost touching each other, but this is blocking it. So we will go negative 5 times c, which is negative 5c. And then we get our last by doing the last place in each parenthesis. So this is the last in the first parenthesis. This is the last in the last parenthesis. Okay, that's how we get last. So negative 5 times 3, a negative times a positive is a negative, and then 5 times 3 gives us 15. All right, okay. Are we done, or what can we do next? Negative 15. Yes, Joy, I'm going to also do box method for this one, okay? Like terms. Good. I saw like terms, and I see people putting the answer up in there. I love it. I love it. So these are like terms. Now, let me explain what like terms are. Thank you, EJ, for the roses. Because my students often say, well, 9 and 5 are not alike. But you never look at the coefficients. Thank you, Jess, for the roses. Thank you, Tony. So you always look at the letter. And if this C is the same as this, that's what makes them like. So we're going to drop down our 3c squared. And then 9 minus 5 gives us, thank you, Joanna, plus 4c minus 15. And this is our answer. Okay. That's our answer, you guys. So I saw some people put this in there. Wonderful, wonderful. Good. Let's keep it pushing. So other people wanted to see the box. So I always draw, so you're going to draw a rectangle the long way and then draw a rectangle the other way, okay? Oh, thank you so much for the gift. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this CA plus 5 right here and here. Or we could have put it up here. It does not matter. You just have to decide. So you put CA and a 5. And then you're going to go to the next parenthesis and put it up here. 5A plus 3. Now, if you was back in the day, if you stayed, you didn't know your multiplication chart, right? You had the little chart on your desk, taped down, and the teacher would ask you 4 times 5, and then you would find it like that. If you didn't have it, you could see what type of class I was in, right? But that saved a lot of people's lives, right? So that's exactly what we're doing when we're doing this. You're doing 5A times 6A. So 5 times 6 gives us 30. Thank you. Somebody know what I'm talking about. So we get 30. And then A times A, how many A's do we have? We have A to the squared. Perfect. Now let's go here. So we're trying to get this box. Well, this box is going to give us 3 times 6, which is 18. And then we have an A here, so I put an A. Okay. This box is going to come from 5 and 5A. 5 times 5 gives us 25, and we have the A. And our last box is 5 times 3 gives us 15. Now, this is the part that you can't forget. You did all this beautiful work, but you still have to take these inner 4 boxes and write them out like this, okay? So we're going to start with 30A squared. I don't see any minus sign, so it has to be a positive 18A. I don't see any minus sign. It has to be a positive 25A. And then plus 15. All right. Okay. So what are we going to do? So 30a squared plus 43a plus 15. Wonderful. Combine them like terms. Thank you, Big, for the roses. Good. So we're going to combine these like terms. I love it. Yes, I do help with geometry. So we're going to do 30a squared. I'm going to, next week, I'm going to be doing a geometry live. Okay. I don't know what date yet, but I'm going to put out like on Sunday, tomorrow, I'm going to put out a little calendar of what I'm doing for the week. Because I go live Monday through Thursday. So I'll tell you what day I'm doing geometry. 18a plus 25 is going to be, like you guys said, 43a plus 15. And this is our answer. Good, good, good. Thank you for the rose. The one and only. All right. So some people like distributive method. Has anybody seen the distributive method of when to multiply? Hey, Nurse and Emma. Thank you, MJ, for the rose. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so let's do the distributive method. And I love the distributive method because the distributive method works for any and everything that you're multiplying. See, this FOIL method only works when you have binomials. It does not work when you have a binomial with a trinomial. So make sure if you love the FOIL method, you're only using it with binomials, okay? So the distributive method says I take this first term and I multiply it by this whole second binomial. Then I take this second term and I multiply it by the same binomial. So I'm going to drop down 5y, do parentheses. I have to write what's in my pink, 3y minus 1. And then I take this next term, minus 4, and I put parentheses and I do 3y minus 1. And then we're going to distribute. So we're going to do 5y times 3y. Well, 5 times 3 gives us 15. And then y times y, how many y's do we have? Y to the second. Okay. 5 times negative 1 gives us a negative 5. And then I have to carry the y with it. All right. Can you guys put this one in the chat for me? What do you guys get when you FOIL this negative 4 to here and here? What do you guys get? Oh, somebody asked, let me see. This is exactly what I be learning at school. Good. Somebody said, can they go to the bathroom? Put in your e-hall pass. Negative 12y. Perfect, perfect. Negative 12. I love it. Plus 4. Plus 4. Good. Negative 4 times 3 gives us a negative 12y. This is what messes people up. A negative times a negative is always a positive. And then 4 times 1 gives us 4. Don't forget to change this sign right here. Perfect. And now we're going to do combining like terms, which is right here, which is right in the middle. So we're going to drop down our 15y squared. And then what does this give us, you guys, when we combine these? What do we get in the chat? 17? Negative 17? Good. Yes. Negative 17y. Plus 4. And this is our answer. Now, if you understand this, then factoring is the complete opposite of multiplying binomials. So what factoring does is you're given this and you're trying to get back to this. Okay, that's what they do. They undo each other. So factoring goes back to here and multiplying takes you back to here. Okay, so We have a couple of more multiplying, but then we also have, let me see, because I do want to do some factoring. Yeah, we got factoring in 2 more pages, okay? So we do need to know how to factor, because that is on your GED test, okay? And then we got some dividing polynomials, all right? So, okay, let's keep it pushing. So, what method do you guys want to use? I'm going to use the method you guys say. Do you guys want to, let me put a poll. And it's whoever the poll wins. So, FOIL, happy face for FOIL. Sad face for distribute. What do you guys say? So, happy face for FOIL. Distribute method, sad face. Ooh, it is close. Okay, the FOIL method is taken off. 6m squared plus 19 plus, okay. Ooh. Okay, so for this one, we're for sure going to do the FOIL method. And then for this one, we'll do the distributive method, okay? Because FOIL method has 197 to 139. All right, so we're going to go first. 3m times 2m. Okay, so 3m times 2m gives us 6m squared. That's our first. Okay, our outer is the one that's most to the left and the other one that's most to the right. So 3m times 3 gives us plus 9m. Okay, now we're going to do our inner. You guys tell me what the inner is in the chat. Can you guys write down what is the inner? Oh, Gino said watching because this is where my child is in school and I forgot how to. I love it, Gina. Love it, love it. 10m. Perfect. Plus 10m. And then we're going to do 5 times 3. 5 times 3 gives us plus 15. Wonderful, you guys. Yes. Good, good, good. All right. So now we're going to do some like terms. So we're going to do plus 9m plus 10m. Drop down 6m squared and combine 19m. Perfect. 19m. 9 plus 10 gives us 19. And then plus 15. Now, some people might be saying, why is it not squared here? If I see 2 m's, I'm combining. Remember, you only get the squared if you're multiplying. Never when you add. When you add, you only look at the numbers in front and then keep the same variable. Okay, so I did want to clear that up for some people. All right. Okay, so let's go to number 2. Okay, so we did FOIL method for this. Now we're going to do distributive method. So again, we take this first term. Ooh, does anybody know what type of things these are called? If you're factoring, they're called something. Does anybody know in the chat what these are called? Discriminate? No. What? The GED is for anybody that needs a high school diploma. Coefficient, binomials. If we're doing difference of squares, Brody, I see you. Yes, these are a difference of squares because I have a minus and a plus, and I have a 12t here, a 5 and a 5. If that's ringing a bell, wonderful, wonderful. Difference of squares. And let me tell you what that means for us. That means this middle term is gonna go bye-bye. Okay, so then when you set it up, we take this 12t and we times it by this entire binomial. 12t plus 5. Okay, now I'm going to take this next negative 5 here and I'm going to multiply it by the same 12t plus 5. And we're going to distribute. Okay, so 12t times 12t, well, 12 times 12 gives us 144. T times t gives us t squared. Remember, because we're multiplying. T times t gives us t squared. 12t times 5. What do we get when we do 12t times 5? Does anybody know? So why was it plugged in twice? It's plugged in twice, 60t, perfect. That's a great question. This is plugged in twice is because we're distributing this to here and here, and then we have to distribute this to here and here to multiply it out. That's why we write it twice, because we're using the distributive method, okay? So you guys said plus 60t, perfect. And now we're going to multiply here and here. That was a great question. Thank you for asking that. So negative 5 times 12 gets us negative 60t. Hey, Uz. Thank you, Uz, for the roses, and welcome back. And then we do negative 5 times a positive 5, and we get negative 25. Thank you, Uz, for the gifts. Okay, so some people are saying they don't understand. Can you put it in the chat? What is it that you're lost at, so then I can address the questions? Okay, thank you. Okay, so put in those questions that what is it that you don't understand? Good. Jules said it cancels out. Because I understand this stuff is not easy, okay? So keep on asking. So this right here, if you've never seen it, you know, sometimes it's brand new for people. Okay, so we cancel this out. We have a positive minus. Good. I saw a lot of people say cancel. 60 minus 60 goes away. So we're left with 144t squared minus 25. And this is why it's called a difference of squares. Okay? Difference of squares. Because this middle term cancels out, and this is a perfect square, and this is a perfect square. Okay? So, difference of squares. All right? And the more you realize this, the easier it is when you go to factoring, when you start going backwards. As soon as you see no middle term and you see perfect squares, you like, bam, got it. Plus and minus. Square root this, square root that, and you get this, okay? Oh, I'm learning this in 7th grade. I love it. Are you in 7th grade advanced or regular 7th grade? Okay, so let's do number 3. This is for anybody with that needs a high school diploma. So the GED is all the way from middle school math all the way up to high school math, like 12th grade math. Okay. All right, so let's go back to FOIL, okay?
Mommy, can we take a bath?
Thank you, Us.
Yes.
So, girl, this live is for people that want to learn. Yes, this live is for people that want to learn. I love it. So we're going to do 8W plus 5W. So 8 times, not plus, 8 times will give us 40. And then how many W's do we have? We have W to the squared. Oh, okay, go put in garbage. Thank you. And then we're going to do 8W times negative 6x, because we're doing our outer. So 8 times negative 6 gives us negative 48. And then we have x and w, xw. All right? Okay. So now we're going to do our inner. So now we're going to do our inner. And we're going to do 4x times 5w. Thank you, Jose, for the roses. And 4 times 5 gives us plus 20. And then xw. Okay, xw. And then let's do our very last. All right, so this is my last thing in this first parenthesis, and this is the last thing in the second parenthesis. What do you guys get when you multiply these? Thank you, Us, for the chili. Thank you, Mike. Putting in work. That's right. Thank you, Lucy. So Jules said 24. Jeffrey said 24, negative 24, x to the squared. I love it. Good. Negative. A positive times a negative is a negative 24. And then x times x, how many x's do we got? X to the second. Beautiful. Now, this is what most people like. What? What is this XY stuff? Remember, whenever we said we multiply variables, you just squish them together. It's not going to make sense in our brain. Okay? It just logically doesn't make sense. So just put them together, squish them together. Okay? So now we're going to drop this down, 40w squared. Now, what do we get here? What do we get here? Oh, what did somebody say? Somebody said, Jilmean said, girl, you can't multiply different variables, second grade knowledge. Exactly. No, but for real, like you literally, it literally doesn't make sense in your mind, but you just put them together. So somebody said 68xw, negative 28. Yes. And this is what trips a lot of people up. I want you to look at this. Somebody borrowed $48 from you. They gave you 20. Are they good? Are they good with you? Or do they still owe you some money? They still owe you. I see a lot of people. They owe you $28. This is how you make this math into real life. Yeah, they owe you. Borrowed 48. They said, "Ooh, we're going out." They borrowed 48 and they paid you 20. They still owe you $28, okay? Drop down this negative 24, x squared. And this is our answer. This is our answer. Oh, you're so welcome. Okay, so let's do a couple of more and then we're going to get into factoring, okay? Then we're going to get into factoring. Thank you so much for the gifts, you guys. Thank you for the double taps. Thank you for hanging with me on a Saturday. So the first one, we're going to do FOIL. We're going to go back and forth, okay? FOIL, distribute, FOIL, distribute. Does anybody want box method? I should ask. Yeah, we're going to do FOIL first. Yes. Okay. We'll do FOIL, distribute, and box. Okay. That's how we'll go. Because I did forget about my box people that love box. So first here. All right. G times 2G. Thank you, the stone, for the roses. So G times 2G gives us 2G. How many G's I got? G to the squared. So now we're going to do G times negative 5. Thank you for the cupcake, Z. So G times negative 5 gives us a negative 5G. Okay. Let's do our innermost. You guys tell me what we get when we do 10 times 2G. What do we get with our innermost? Somebody said 20. Ooh. Okay, what do we get? G. I love it. Glitter said 20G. Perfect. Yes. Plus 20G. And then the last is the last thing in each parenthesis. So we go 10 times a negative 5, which is negative 50. So I'm going to drop down my 2G squared, and I'm going to drop down my negative 50. Now I have these like terms. Life said 15. Good. So negative 5 plus 20. Now, I want you to think about this. You got $20 and you spent 5 of it. How much do you have left? Well, you still have a positive $15 left. Yeah, you have a positive 15. This is because it's a positive, so you have 20. You only spent 5. You don't also, you didn't go down in your bank account 15. Nah, you still stayed positive 15. In order for you to go down negative, you would have had to spend more than $20. Okay, so I hope that's how I'm tying it to the real world with these integers. Okay, think about that bank account, think about borrowing, and go from there. Okay, so we did FOIL method. Now we're about to do the distributive method. We take this first 4x. We're going to take this first 4x. And then we're going to put this parenthesis, 6x plus 3. Okay. We're going to take this plus 1 here. And we're going to times the plus 1. Remember, because we have to distribute it to the same 6x plus 3. All right. We're going to distribute. Can you guys give me this first distributing? What will we get if we distribute here? What do we get? 24x, 20x, 24x plus 3, 24x squared plus 12. Yes. 4 times 6 is 24. Don't forget, x times x is x squared. Now we're going to go here. 4 times 3 gives us 12. Don't forget this x, which is 12x. Okay. Now we're going to go here. Well, 1 times anything is just anything. So 1 times 6x, 6x. 1 times 3, plus 3. Ooh, okay. Love said final solution. Love, you said, what did you say, Love? Love said 24x squared plus 18x plus 3. Dude, Love, I love it. I love it. I love it. Jewel said 24. Same thing, Caitlin. Good. So we're going to drop down this 24x squared. 18 plus 6. 18 plus 12 plus 6. And you guys, I do that to my students all the time. I'll be like, oh, man, because I'll be thinking so like far in advance. And then my students like, you just gave me the answer. I'm like, oh, let me give you another problem. Yep. That's teacher life for you. All right. So when is it best to use the distributive property? I say it's best to do the distributive property for everything, to be honest. So that way you don't have to worry about going back. Oh, can I use the FOIL method? Can I use the box method? Can I use this method? If you do the distributive property works whether you're given a binomial and a trinomial, a quadrilateral. It works for everything. FOIL method only works when you're given 2 things like this. Thank you, JS. Thank you. Box method works for everything too, though. Or they call it area model. That works for everything too. It's just, if you're on a timed test, you don't have time to be making these boxes, okay? If you're on a timed test. But some people are like, it's going to be a timed test, but I'll get it correctly if I do the box. So you just have to weigh out what works best for you. And that's why I love math, because it's no one way. You can do whatever you want, okay? So we're going to put 6D minus 5. And then we're going to do 4D minus 7. All right, we got this multiplication chart here. Can anybody tell me what we get for this first box here? What do we get? Oh, thank you, Jewel. Oh, thank you, Mo. Oh, somebody said we did not simplify this. Nope, because we're just multiplying polynomials. So we're not looking to simplify. 24d to the second. Yes. 6 times 4 is 24. D times D is D to the second. Wonderful, you guys. Yes. Now, 6D times a negative 7 is, well, a positive times a negative is a negative. Got rid of that. 6 times 7 gives me 42. And then I have a D here. So I'll put 1D. Good. All right. So this one, what do we get for this box down here? What do you guys say? Yes, I do, tutor. I have one more opening for next week. It's Tuesday at 4 Central Time. So if that works for anybody, email me. Okay. Negative 20D. Good. Yes. Negative 20D. Wonderful, wonderful. And then here we have a negative times a negative is a positive. 7 times 5 is 35. Good. Now, don't do all this work and say, whew, I'm done, okay? Even though we wish we was done, right? It's like, I just did all this. You can see I know how to multiply. Yes. But we have to take these 4 out and write it out just like we do here with every FOIL, see how we write these out each time? We have to do the same thing when we do the box. So we're going to do 24D squared minus 42D minus 20D plus 35. All right, the first thing I'm dropping down is 24D squared, and I'm going to drop down this plus 35. Now, how do you look at what do we do when we combine these like terms? Ooh, Amelia said negative 62D. Jules said negative 62D. Yes. Jules said add them. Perfect. I want you guys to look at this. Somebody borrowed $42 from you. Then they went up to the register and they said, ooh, I need another 20 more. How much do they owe you? See, they owe you because if you put positive, that means they good. They don't owe you no money. Thank you, the stone, for the rose. They owe you $62. Yes, don't forget that negative. They owe you. They borrowed 42 and they said, give me another 20. So you got to add these, okay? Because they owe you. Thank you, Gammer. I just got your email. I will respond later on today. Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, somebody said, wait, why didn't you put squared? Montana, I love your question. We don't put the squared because we're not multiplying. See, we can only put the squared when we're saying D times D. But when we add, we don't add the variables. We only add the numbers that are in front of the coefficients. So that's the main difference of how you get a squared versus just dropping down a D. When you add, you never look at the variable. That just tells you what is like in order to add the numbers that are in front. When we multiply, though, we get the square because we're doing D times D, which is a big difference. That was a fantastic question. Good, good, good. All right. I hope it made sense. If it didn't, I'm sorry. But that's how I explain it. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, you're so welcome, Montana. Thank you, Dominique, for the rose. All right, y'all. We about to get into this factoring. Thank you, Lucy, for the roses. Thank you, thank you. Man, it is 1.1K people online. We doing math on a Saturday. We had 29.8K likes. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Butterfly. Thank you, Mrs. Bridges. Can everybody take a second to double tap? Can we get up to 50 likes on this live? Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. I see those likes and shares coming in. Thank you. All right, so for number 1, we have 5x squared plus 34x plus 24. Thank you, 75. Thank you, the stone, for the roses. So, how do we want to factor? All right. So, we're going to write 2 parentheses, okay? And what we're going to look at is what times what gives us this first term. Okay, so what times what gives us 5? Well, the only thing that can give us 5 is 1 times 5. Okay, now what times what gives us x? Well, x times x is what gives us x squared. Okay, so we're going to do 5x and 1x here. Okay, because if I do 5x times 1x, that gives me 5x squared. Okay, good. I saw those with 5x and 1x. Good. Now, we would never put a 1 right here. But I do this because some people actually need to see the 1, okay? But whenever you see a letter by itself, it's always a 1 right there. Now we're going to go back to 24, okay? We're going to go back to this 24. Well, what are the factors of 24? We have 1 in 24. We have 2 in 12. What else do we have? 3 times 8, 6 times 4, right? Oh, this is where it starts to get a little tricky. 6 and 4, 6 and 4, 6 and 4. Okay, people are saying 6 and 4. Okay. All right. So Connor says 6 and 4. I love it. So let's just say we use 6 and 4. We know 6 and 4 gives us 24. Okay. So I'm going to write 4 and 6. Okay. Now, I don't know if this is right or not. I do not know if this is right. I am literally I just know 4 times 6 gets me 24. That's all I know. That's all I know. I could have chose 3 and 8. But so let me explain why this doesn't make, why. Okay. Now, our end goal is to get, when we multiply these two and we multiply this, I got to add up to 34. Well, 4 times 1 gives me 4x. 5x times 6 gets me 30x. If I add these, 30 plus 4, does that give me 34? 30x plus 4x. Yes, it does get me 34x. So I know this is the perfect plus. These are my factors. Jen said, mind blown. I love it. So now let's say that we did not know 6 and 4 will work, right? Let's say if I said, oh, I think 3 and A will work. Well, this is what they call guess and check. Let me get some scratch paper real quick. So let me put this up here, okay? And this is the beauty in math, okay? Because we the only thing that can give us 5 is 1 and 5. So we know this is it for this place. This place is only 5 and x, okay? Now let's just say we have 3 and 8. And 8 here, okay? So if I go here, 5x times 3 gives us, and then 3 times x gives us 3x. Well, 40 plus 3 will give me 43x, which is not what I want. Remember, I want the 34x. So I know this is out. That does not work. And if you do 12 here, or even if you switch these, let's say, well, I would have put the 8 here and I would have put the 3 here, which is fine. 8 times x gives us 8x. 5 times 3 gives us 15. But will 15 plus 8 give us 34? Nope. 15 plus 8 gives us what? 23? Which still doesn't give us a 34. So that's why you literally can go through these and see which one it is. Okay? All right. The next one. Let's look at the next one. We have 4x squared plus 22x plus 10. What can we do first? Somebody said, why didn't I do the discriminative method? I've never heard of the discriminative method, or maybe I heard of it and just didn't put that name to it. But I would love to see other ways to, there's multiple ways, right? So I love it. 4x. So what do they all have in common? There's a number that can go into each one of these. See, 5 never would have went into 34. So we just had to do the factoring. But does 4, 22, and 10 have a number in common? X said 2. X said 2. Jen said 2. Good. Yes, 2. So I can divide each one of these by 2 first. And if I do that, whatever I divide by, I must write on the outside. So 4 divided by 2 gets me 2x squared. Plus 22 divided by 2 gets me 11x. Plus 10 divided by 2 gets me 5. All right. So now we have 2x squared plus 11x plus 5. I don't have anything else more that they have in common. So now I can go straight to my 2 parentheses. Okay. Remember, what times what gives me this first term? I'm going to put this 2. I'm going to drop this down right here. So now I'm looking at what times what gets me 2x squared. 2 and 1. M said 2 and 1. Perfect. 2x and x. Jen said 2x and x. Wonderful. Good. So we have 2 times 1, right? We could put 1 in here. And we have x times x. Good. That's how we get 2x squared. 2x times x. Wonderful. Now, how do we get a 5? Well, let's be careful here. How we get 5 is only 1 times 5, right? Now, where does the 1 and where does the 5 have to go? Can I put the 5 here? Yeah, I sure can, right? Can I put the 5 here? Where should the 5 go? Here or here? Good. Said 1 goes with the 2x. Good. 1 goes here and then 5 goes here. Okay. All right. So let's check this, right? Because we have to get the middle term. So we're going to do this. We're going to go out. I'm running out of space. So 2x times 5 gets us 10x. 1 times x gets us 1x. If we add these two, 1x plus 10x, will that give us our 11x? Yes, it does. We know we have done it correct. And this right here is our factors. Yes. And let's just say you would have put the 5 here and then the 1 here. There's nothing wrong with that. You just got to make sure you check it. And if it doesn't, then you'll know to switch. You'll know to flop. Okay. All right, you guys. Thank you for hanging with me. I do have to go. But thank you for joining me today. If I have any time, I might jump on later tonight. But if not, I will see you guys sometime tomorrow if I'm free. Thank you, Dominique, for the rose. You guys have a beautiful, happy Saturday. Thank you, JS. And I know Spirit saying no, but I do have plans. So thank you. And you guys have a wonderful night. Bye.